Hi guys, good evening everyone. It's April 13 and today we are in another episode of our daily stock market insights. And yeah, let's discuss how the market went today. And I think some of you are happier because there are a lot of stocks that rallied today. So good job to those people who have um, gotten in earlier than the rest. It's maybe profit taking time for some of you. Okay, let me just invite some of our friends here in our page. Just 1 second. All right, welcome. So if you're already in, don't hesitate to drop a comment, say hi, or even post your request so I can prioritize it. In the meantime, this one is from Lugarius. He messaged me in Instagrams and he wanted us to review FLI, MEG, and DMC. And as promised, I said if you are going to make a request, I will prioritize your request. All right. Uh-huh. Have not checked the comment section yet of my YouTube. Maybe you guys also dropped some comments there. Let me just check. Okay, so looks like there are no other comments apart from this. So I would like to start with I don't know which page I open. Okay, this is the one. Alright, let's set up our tools. Okay, PSCI first. Looks like PSCI is starting to create that flag pattern. Let me just verify. Flag pattern in stocks. Images. Is it forming like this? Could be, right? But overall, even if it's not a concrete flag pattern, I can right away say that we are on the verge of breaking that resistance. So I still consider this as still in the resistance level. We have not officially broken that level yet. So what I can say is that, well, we made an attempt here. What I can say is that if we continue to move up tomorrow with more than, let's say, 5,630 and above movement, then we can say that we have broken that short-term resistance for our index. And when we talk about index, that would also mean the same fate for our top 30 companies listed in the index. If you wanna find out what those companies are, just go Google it. PSCI stocks, stocks included in PSCI. So you have these companies, okay? You can just check that out. So if you don't know which stock to engage in, the safest as an investor, go for the blue chip companies. So these are the blue chip companies listed in the Philippine market or Philippine Stock Exchange. Okay, hi Irene, good evening. Insights for Globe, URC, MPI, MBT, please. Thanks a lot. Yes, definitely. Let me just include that on my list. So after GMC would be Globe, URC, MPI, MBT. So by the way, guys, over the weekend I also did a live and just a correction. Pizza is Shakey's. I made a mistake. I said Pizza Hut. Okay, so let's start with FLI. Okay. Oops. No significant movement for FLI as of the moment, and we are still here. I still want to use this as our nearest support level and try to observe what happens here in your RSI. Okay, so let us see, it's moving to the upside while we are just bouncing within this range. So that means I have a feeling if it will dip, I would assume the farthest or the lowest it could get would be around this level. Okay, so just it'll just go back to the bottom, but given the movement of its RSI, it's already a bullish divergence, meaning the next possible movement, if we don't break the 0.89 level, is just it will go up. Okay, overall you are very far down below here. That means the next possible movement would be, it's just following the pattern. After a downward movement, it goes sideways before it goes up again, right? Then the next one would be MAG. What could this be? So this was the resistance before. Okay, we spotted a resistance right at this area, went above that, retested it. So I think you might even have more movements to the upside. Yes, I feel that you might have some more movements to the upside, but if you want to play conservative, I'd have to say you can haggle and wait for it to probably give you a chance at the support level. If not, just haggle at least 2 to 3% above it. That way, you can still maximize your potential profit. And where it is at right now, because it's already this area is previously it's a resistance, now it becomes a support. It was also validated here, which created a support in that area. We just had a breakdown in price, that's why there was a gap down, and the price revisited the gap and filled the gap. Despite that, it managed to move forward or upward even more, but as of the moment, very minimal movement. So we just need good volume to really sustain that growth there. DMC. A DMC as well is for me trying to create this brand new support in this level, which is already above your MA20 line. Now you're still in the process of filling this gap. Okay, so we're still not out of the woods, because sometimes what happens here is that after it revisits the gap, it can also do something like this. But one thing you need to watch out for is that it should only stop at that level, okay? This support area, because if it happens to break that line, then the next, let's measure that in case. Okay, so let's put there we go. So we spotted the area of its possible bounce, which is the 3.99 or 4 peso level. If it breaks that, the next possible bounce would be 3.85, 3.75, and the lowest we want to watch out for is the 3.64. Once it goes lower than that, then don't expect too much. I would have to say downtrend is not over yet for DMC. So at least you know your key areas to watch out for. Globe. Okay. Okay. Globe has quickly bounced right after a short-term retracement here. So I would have to say there is a big chance that you might have more movements to the upside. How's their promising earnings here? So that's good. That could also be a trigger of the foreign buying here that happened today, and the upward movement in today's market because there was a news about the revenue and the revenue looks okay. Now let's see. If it bounced just within the area we've okay, so it respected the 0.236 level, right? So the next area that it might break, okay, it will challenge first would be the 2303.31. Okay, Control Z. What if we do this? I would normally measure the ones from no, I don't do that. Okay, so just note that the next area that this stock will have to challenge first would be the 2303 level, and just be extra careful because you know it's already a bit high, and you're also very near your overbought level. So just be mindful there. What you would like to avoid here is that, for instance, okay, at any time it reaches this level, what you want to see is that your RSI should still continue to move up. But at, let's say it reaches 2,300 and then your RSI is looking something like this, that means momentum is starting to die down. Okay, so what we want to see as a pattern is price is moving up, RSI trend line is also moving up, and not the reverse. As you can see here, it's starting to show decline in momentum. Okay, but we still cannot tell because what if it shoots up and then it goes higher as well? What about IDC and IRC? Definitely Israel. Thank you for joining us. I'll add that as well. IDC and IRC. Avroid name. Miss JD, good evening po. Apparently po, MRSGI Euro. Sure. MRSGI Euro and AXLM. Good evening. I'm 12. Good evening to you. Okay, so we are currently done with FLI, MEG, DMC, Globe, and now we're looking at URC. URC showed a very promising pattern the other day, and it still continued. Good, good. May 27. So watch out, mark your calendars for this one, and I think we might have some more promising moves here. Although if you can haggle a little bit lower than this, you know, because I think at one point people will also take profit. But if you're an investor, you don't really mind that. Currently, very promising price level as an investor. Okay, but if you're a short-term trader or a day trader, you're very near a resistance. Well, the nearest resistance, yes, you actually already broke that line because I saw this level, which used to be this used to be a support. There we go, here. Okay, you see that? That used to be a support. here. But let me plot a line there because that's the nearest. Was also validated here. So that is the resistance, and we managed to break that resistance. We have confirmed that we already passed that resistance. So the next resistance that we would like to plot would be this level. Okay. So there's a chance that it might challenge this tomorrow. Oh, we actually ended there. So what we want to see is, let's watch out and check out the next one. We could be sitting at a resistance area right now, so just be mindful, as some people might already take profit. But on a weekly chart, the next one would be right here. Okay, so several areas to check. Now it's up to you if you want to chase that, but your possible reward would be very minimal in case it crosses that line tomorrow. That's just a possible gain of around 7%. So your call, if you'd like to be an investor for this, or you'd like to haggle and wait for it to probably revisit 114 level. So at least I'm just showing you some guides here to check out. Okay, next would be MPI. MPI increased today. Woo-hoo! Ay! A little. This is still a support area for MPI. Okay, how far are we from a possible resistance? Let's use our here. Just looks small, but come to think of it, if you enter today, your next possible resistance would be your MA20 line, and that is already a potential gain of 23%. Oh, by the way, I'm on a weekly chart. Let's take a look at your daily. Okay, we're about to cross that line. We're about to cross your MA20 line, and it's currently creating a support in this level. So you're still in a good shape. Okay, around 250 to 245 level. So you can probably do range trading if you'd like. Enter right in this area, exit when we cross the MA20, and possibly here. I saw one right here, so let's just pull that down a little. 297. 2.98. There you go. Okay, so that's the next resistance that we see. So if you want to do range trading, that will already give you a possible gain of around 20%, 18, 19. Okay, there you go, 17% possible gain. Okay, not bad. So we still have a good opportunity right here. Income wise, looks healthy. Okay, is this one of the company that will survive the situation right now? I'd have to say, in the long term, MPI is still very good and stable company, and we all know that these highways. This is the company behind those super highways, and the toll fee, or the toll that we're paying every day. That's humongous, right? So I think this will survive. One of the blue chip companies in the index. MBT. MBT is also trying to stabilize. It has been on a decline, a temporary lift in the price, but it revisited it. So I'd have to say it is just nearly confirming the support that we have here at the moment. So let's try to look at this as an example. March 25th, we're already at the oversold level. Here, around 19.7 in your RSI. But when we bounced and revisited that, we're already slightly higher than the previous point. So that's a bullish divergence, guys. So if you want to start investing here. This is a perfect timing. MBT, I don't know if you have any news around MBT. I don't know why it's on a massive downtrend here, but no significant news that would really uh, impact the overall standing, unless, of course, um, we know that a lot of people have lost their jobs here and abroad. So it's also possible that savings of the people or banking industry is also impacted around that. The next one would be, well, I already have IDC next. Okay. Oh, be extra careful here. This is a trigger of the lower Bollinger Band. This might continue to dip. It has started to trigger that. So almost always, guys, when you have something like this, I don't feel good because it triggers the, you might have some more movements downward. But Julie or Miss JD, you said that price is almost in the same level and then your RSI is already moving to the upside. There you go. Mind you, guys, you can have more downward movements and still have something like this because RSI gives you a more advanced signal than your candlestick patterns here. So it's also possible that you will have more declines. I'm not saying it's going to be that deep because your RSI is already starting to give you advanced signals that it is going to bounce anytime soon. So let's try to plot the next possible support because we're slightly lower than the line that we've plotted there. Okay, so it could possibly move because that's a support area. It's also confirmed here. So in case it moves down some more, I would have to say that it might only drop up to 1.21, 1.17 level because of this. Okay, do you see this? This was a support previously, and if you break this line that we have plotted at the moment, it might just revisit up to 1.21 to 1.17 level, and then it will just bounce again. That's IDC. IRC. IRC moving. Okay, so this is a good story for IRC because we've started to, of course, we started with breaking your MA20 line. Okay, so that's a good signal, and chances are we might just have more sideways first before it goes up. So something like this, or maybe tomorrow it will already trigger that. The moment this upper Bollinger Band is triggered, then the chances are you have some more movements to the upside. Just the reverse. If you have a candlestick triggering your lower Bollinger Band, chances are it will continue to decline, which manifested right here. Okay, so if the market gives you a chance, if you want to get in IRC, anywhere from 0.70 to 0.76 is already a good area to start accumulating volume. In case you're able to hear me, just give me a signal if audio is okay or you're not hearing me well. Just let me know, okay? But let me just continue and talk about. So we were able to cover. I don't think we were able to discuss MRSGI. Okay, so MRSGI, you have successfully broken the MA20 line. So that's another good sign here. Similar to the previous stock we just discussed. I'd like to use this as our support. Okay, we managed to break that here and then it went up, it revisited, it retested your support level, so which makes it an even stronger support in this sense. So anywhere from 1.44 to 1.51 is already a good entry price, and I feel that we might have some more movements to the upside considering that, look at that, Okay, you're very far from the peak right here that happened last April 19th. And if you are into MRSGI and you believe in the company, just hang in there. There's a big potential that it might go up again. Although you have to also pair it with, your fundamental analysis, pair it with technical analysis, because you have to understand that not every day is going to be a straight upward movement. There will be roadblocks, meaning there will be resistances that you have to break before it continues to move up and break and reach this level. Okay, right up front, I can already see this next resistance. This as well, 2.09, around this level. Okay, so those are your resistances that you need to conquer and break before you even talk about 3.56. Okay, so it's up to you if you want to lock in some profit first, and then if there are some dips or retracements, then you put it back in to get more volume at a much lower price while locking in some profit. So those are the key strategies that we have for you. But overall, look at that. This is a very attractive chart. 1.44 is our nearest support. Euro. Oh, nice bounce as well for Euro. It's starting to trigger your MA20 line. We have not officially crossed that. So just in case some people would take profit, I still want to use this area as our support. Just in case, sometimes significant increase will also be negated by the next day's candlestick. Something like this. Which one should I use? Something like this. Moves up, and then the same day, whatever gain you had is just exactly the same amount you lost the next day. But overall, guys, in case some people will take profit, anywhere from 2.15 to 1.87 for me is very good entry price. If you want, you can haggle up until 2 pesos to enter if you really don't want to wait for 1.87. Okay, but I'm not going to talk about your potential profit taking area. It's your call. If you're already happy with your gain at 7-8%, why not? Don't have to wait for whatever area your people are recommending. Okay, because sometimes they mention an area only to discover the other people are already taking profit by 3 cents or 5 cents before that price is hit. Okay, just know your support and resistance. AXLM. This is a sign of weakness for AXLM that I see. We're sitting at a possible resistance. As you can see here, each time this price level is hit, there's this kind of like a ceiling that each time the price is reaching that level, then there's a rejection. So where could it possibly fall? The nearest one I can see would be 2.27 right here. Reason is because this, also this, and this, those areas were hit, and then this used to be a previous resistance, and we managed to break that. So it might just retest your support, revisit this, and then continue to move up. If that's the case, that's a good story. We just have to wait for it to around 2.26. Let it reach that part. No need to hurry, guys. I know you can still haggle at a much lower price for AXLM. Okay. Just saying there. Okay. Jill, Christian. Good evening. How about Dito? What's your take on this current movement as well as Web? Dito and Web. Okay, let's check that out. And Marco, MWC, sure. Thanks, and more power to your endless effort. We appreciate it. Thank you very much, guys. There are a lot of people on the net, even in YouTube. They're even more expert than I am, but I only treat this as our daily habit to always study, never ending study. Before we can consider ourselves as experts, or before we consider ourselves as skilled in this craft, there's no shortcut. You have to do this every day. So I highly encourage you guys to join me in this journey every day, and so we grow together. Okay? And I hope you watch it as well right after the market closes, so you can validate whether our insights are correct or not. Those insights that are correct, you follow that model. If insights are not right, then learn from it and do things differently. AXLM, we're done. Max. Maxis. Ah, nice. Another promising pattern here. Similar to what happened with GFC, pizza, those restaurants that will offer delivery service are the restaurants that will survive in this period. We all need to eat. And some people would prefer delivery than going out because it's riskier to go out. So, like how China did, right? In the height of the quarantine period, everything's online. Okay, so all companies that are internet based in nature, restaurants, these are the companies that will survive in this pandemic. Okay, so Max is here. As you can see, we're starting to trigger this MA20 line. We're about to break that. Also, you are starting to form a constricted Bollinger Band. And when a Bollinger Band becomes constricted, something like this, the next is like an eruption, drastic movement. I hope the movement is to the upside, because we already did that here when there's a massive downfall in price. So hopefully, because we are seeing some greens here, next possible movement is to break this upper Bollinger Band and start bouncing, changing the direction now. In the previous months, we never had that opportunity in breaking, triggering the upper band. Most of the triggers happened at the lower Bollinger Band. So no wonder the decline persisted. So that's what we're waiting for. And compared to the previous months, we never really had, except for this, right? But you right away know that the possible movement when that lower Bollinger Band was triggered, you know that the movement will decline. However, in this case, we stayed flat here. That just merely strengthened your support. You're also in the oversold level, which is a good sign. Plus, there's an engulfing green candlestick here, so that's another good sign. So next possible movements, if you still are interested and have not gotten in yet, anywhere from 4.49 to 5 is for me a very good deal. Dito. Dito is again another good story, but I'm still torn whether to invest here in overall. Okay, this is my stand because I also have a position in Dito. Overall, I am looking forward to the time when the third telco becomes fully operational, because I know that this is super undervalued given that we're at the 1.85 level. If they become operational, okay, because what I'm saying is that we're just ahead of the game. They're still in the building phase or in the preparation phase for the launch, and you're already in. Now they go live, definitely this is going to be massive in terms of earning potential. But still at this point, because there's no tangible product that we can see at the moment, then just be extra careful with your sizes, because this is a company, a stock that a lot of traders are playing. Sometimes there's a lift in the price, it does not sustain because people are already taking profit. So what I can say here is that it's still a long journey till March 2021. I forgot the month, but they said around March or May 2021 is their launch. So it's still a long journey. We might see a lot of movement. So my take here is trade this for now. If you can lock in some profit, go ahead and do that. So what I'm saying here is the next support would be this level. I like that we're triggering the upper band, but where could be the next resistance? Obvious resistance that I see would be here around 2.07, and the next one would be already 2.88. But definitely, where is the next action? I would say it's going to move up. We've reached the bottom for this. If the market gives you a chance from 1.85 to 1.55, maybe 1.71 is already a good entry price. But promising formation for Dito at the moment. Web. Oh, same is true with Web. We're already outside of the Bollinger Band. We're starting to expand the constricted Bollinger Band. So we previously, I don't know, I think I mentioned this because I've reviewed this in my previous videos. We mentioned that this is a promising formation when a Bollinger Band is constricted, and true enough, for 3 straight days, triggering the upper band. That's an 18% increase, so significant gain for those people who were able to enter here. So good job to you guys. I'd say I feel that there could be more, but some people will take profit. So in case they give you a chance around 0.89, take it. Okay, around 1.88. But still your call. But overall, I see more movements to the upside here. Okay, and then MWC. Starting to follow a formation here. Looks like it will follow this. This formation, MWC. Yeah, okay. So I feel that it will also continue to trigger some more movements to the upside. And yeah, next possible resistance here would be this level, 12.05 or 12. $12.05. There. Okay, so that's the next possible resistance. And then just add another line here if it moves up again. Okay, at least you know where. This is our support for this stock. 1050. It's around 1043 to 1050 is our support. Next resistance is 12.05. If it breaks that, watch out for the 14.18 level. That's your resistance. Okay, so I've reviewed your stocks. Let's try to check out some other stocks in Investograms. There. What about BDO? BDO, contrary, it's following the same pattern of MBT. I think banks are badly hit in this period. No one's going to the bank. They don't have money anymore. Okay, more movements downwards here for BDO. Let's check what happens around 88.95. This is what I'm talking about, JFC. We also have a dividend scheduled. And we filled the gap right here. So this is now your brand new support. There you go. 120.94. So if people will take profit, this is the next support that I'm seeing. BPI, same fate as BDO, MBT, downward movements. So be extra careful with banks in this period. JGS also giving us some signs of weakness here, but where could it fall and create a support? So it might go back to 45. 45.73. The reason why I said that, I expanded the weekly chart so it will give us a much better picture. It might go down here, test it, and go up. The reason why I said that is because previously on a weekly chart, you have some story here. Accumulation and bounced back up. Looking forward for future videos. Yay! Thank you, Jill. Thanks for your insights, Miss JD. Happened to stumble upon this on Invested just now. Looking forward for your future videos. Yep, this is a commitment to myself and to you guys. I'm really looking forward for this community to grow. There's no hype here. This is purely insights, purely technical analysis, and I'm still trying to um, think of more ideas on how we can put variations to the content here. I'm also thinking of adding fundamental analysis, deep dive on some stocks, so we have better understanding on the nature of their business, and then pair it with fundamental and technical analysis. But go ahead, please feel free to make suggestions. The only time we can say that this is growing is if there's really interaction between you and me. Let's create that community. Feel free to drop a comment if you have requests, like what Logarius did. He messaged me in Instagram, and he said that if I can prioritize that request, so I did. Same with you guys. For those people who requested, I of course prioritize your request, and after that I go and review the other stocks by sorting it here. Okay, next is where was that? We're here. So we're done with JGS. Did we review ICT? No, we did not. So we did IDC. Okay, ICT. Nice bounce here, ICT. This is a bounce, guys, and you're very near your support. And that's on a weekly chart, by the way. So let's go back to your daily. How does it pan out? Very good. We're very near our support, which is 70.37. So if there will be weakness here, it might just go back in this level because it has already been strengthened for multiple days. And the next possible movement would just be to the upside. There is also a dividend play here. Oh, it's done. Okay, AC. AC, let's wait till tomorrow. If this line is broken, so we just filled this gap, okay, and if and that's exactly what this movement did. It just filled that gap. So if more actions happen above the line that we plotted here, that means we've finally broken out of the resistance, and we now have this resistance as a brand new support. So this is what I am seeing. It will revisit that and move up again, okay, if it breaks that line. Otherwise, it might just go back to the 450 level. Okay, so those are your key indicators. Ali, it's nice that we're already above the MA20 line, so let's use this area as our support. So more movements to the upside. Next area to consider as your profit taking area to lock in some profit would be 37 area. Okay. URC, did we check that? Yes, we did. We also checked MBT, dito SMPH. This does not go away each time. Okay, let's use MA20 as our support for SMPH. There, 28.89. I think they were already showing some bounce here. Good earnings last year. Okay, but I have a feeling it will just move within this range first before the next movement to the upside. So I'm confident that your 28.89 support level will still be revisited. SM, SM, you are at a resistance level. You already have a doji, and for several days, each time that level is hit, you have some rejection. It doesn't really prosper. Also, this one, support, used to be resistance. So in case it drops, the next area to check would be your MA20 line. Okay, do you see that? So it will revisit this. If this gets broken, then this is the next one. Okay, pure gold. Nice, pure gold. My suggestion for pure gold, I feel that it will continue to move up, but be extra careful because this is already high. So you might experience FOMO. However, I'm not saying you cannot play this anymore. What I'm suggesting is if you want to play this, make sure to use a much faster time frame. Hold on, guys. Sorry. I'm so sorry about that. I just had a phone call. Okay, so we're back. So what I was saying earlier, pure gold. Yeah, pure gold has broken our resistance here. Also, here is some validation that it's a resistance. So um, be extra careful. Use a much faster time frame because this is already a bit high. Okay, but I'm not saying you can't play that yet because we're still within here. We're not outside of we're not in the overbought level, but we're very close. So this is just for trading. Dapat na ba magbodegas GFC? Yes! a long time ago. Um, but for JFC, it's not too late. You're still at a very good position. In fact, tomorrow, anywhere from 120 to 135 is already a good entry price. Some people I know will definitely take profit because there are a lot of traders here. But given the current situation, looking at the fundamentals and then the financial condition of the company, this company will survive, especially if there's delivery service that they will be offering. So it will survive, and already a good area to start accumulating volume. Yep. So if tomorrow is payday for some of you guys, allocate some for this stock. And if you want a cheaper one, this is also good. Look at the formation of pizza. We're about, so if maybe what you can do is if it breaks the MA20 line and we start moving to the upside, that's a good one. Max as well is a good one. Max is that's a very attractive pattern as well. So food, company related to food, that's promising. Pure Gold as well. See, Pure Gold was already ahead of the game. We're already up high there, but this area, we've been discussing this multiple times the previous weeks, and we were mentioning about the potential of Pure Gold because nowadays people are making sure that they're spending their money wisely. Uh, they have nothing to spend on in the first place because the other businesses are closed. Rather, they put their money in the grocery, the necessities, and Pure Gold has been open, and I think their operation is uninterrupted. Although we just have fewer people going to the grocery because of the quarantine, but definitely Pure Gold is still open. So that's a good sign. Okay, where are we? Bloom. Bloom for me, that's a sign of weakness. Okay, 5.78. So that's a sign of weakness. It might revisit this area, 4.90 level. Okay, 4.90 level. MPI, we talked about it. Yes, MEG, we did. AGI. AGI is also giving us some signs of weakness there. So I think we can just be a little patient and wait for it right here. 5.68. SECB. Just stabilizing within this range. And let's take a look at how your RSI behaves. So overall, SECB already has a bullish divergence in RSI, but I know some of you are already excited. They feel that it's already cheap, but I suggest we wait for that confirmation, probably a green candlestick, to come out first before we enter. Or better yet, let it cross over the MA20 line just to be sure. So this level from here to here. If you want, you wait for it here, take profit here, or wait for it to break your resistance and enter from there. So that's our recommendation. Okay. Do paydays actually have an effect on prices? Are buyers usually more aggressive? Let's take a look. It's let's just use JFC as an example because normally small retailers or like us, small time players, we would always have money during paydays, right? So let's take a look at Feb. For example, Feb, January 31. No, doesn't really make an impact because look at this. For the entire, this one, probably slight lift in the price, but if the sentiment is really going down, it will go down. So far, I have not seen any correlation or significant correlation between uh, payday and movement in price. Do you have any other requests? So far, I'm just going with the flow here. I've sorted the all stocks and sorted it according to stocks with the highest trade, and then work my way downwards here. Tel did a bounce. Although it's a little bit high now, but overall, if you're a long-term investor, it's already a promising opportunity to have entered in this level. So 1094 for long-term investors, it's okay. But for traders, use a faster time frame and wait for it to probably haggle a few pesos and then enter. And then I feel that there will be more movements to the upside for this stock. Okay. RLC, signs of weakness here. Check out this area, guys. 13.11. There you go. 13.11. In case it revisits that, next movements will be to the upside. Just take note though that if this line that we have created gets broken, cut your losses early, because it's so difficult. I'm telling you guys, if you have not cut your loss early, it is so difficult to manage that. Then chances are you will just have to wait for it to bounce back. Okay, from experience. Okay, we talked about Globe, AP. This is your support area. We're just revisiting the support level for this stock. Probably this is just confirming the support. So you managed to break that, moved a little higher, and then tested it again. So I feel that next movement would just be to the upside. But two things. Could either move sideways first before it goes up, or it goes up right away. Okay? I will plot our support at the 26.86 to 27 pesos area. So that's our area of focus. Thank you, naisip ko lang. It's usually the high rollers that dictate prices nga pala. Yep. Barya lang. Our money is just a loose change for the big players. Meralco. Meralco has already reached a short-term resistance. This is what you call this candlestick. I think it's a shooting star. Let me just verify. It's a shooting star. Let me see. Yeah. Or I know that's also another form of a shooting star. This one, when it comes out at the resistance area, that could trigger a change in direction. If this comes out at the support level, it will also trigger a different change in direction. It could either be in this formation or the wick is to the upside. What are you looking for today? To pump and dump? What is this? What are you looking for today to pump and dump? I don't really understand. What I'm saying probably is, if I got you right, just be extra careful, because some people are purely traders. As soon as they reach a profit, sometimes the uptrend is not sustained, because these people are sometimes already they have deep pockets, and they connive with one another, and then They decide to at what extent they should be taking profit, and then all of a sudden the price goes down because these are either big players or a group of friends with deep pockets. They decide to dictate the movement of the market, so that's not good. Day trader, sorry, I think that's a dragonfly, could be wrong. um Doji, because it's like a star, crossing. Dragonfly. Yeah, I think that's a dragonfly. Yep. Probably like a variation of a doji. Yep, you're right. It's a dragonfly. The next one, the body is thicker though, so that's really close to a doji, which is you're right, a dragonfly formation. Oh, DNL. Interesting. Look at DNL. This is a resistance. We broke that, so you're very close. Promising movement here. So anywhere from 5.12 to 5.40 is good. And you're very near the bottom right here. Okay, so you can check that out as well. Look at that. We're very low. We've bottomed. Looks like it. Okay, but the next area to watch out is this. This is the nearest resistance that I see for DNL. There you go. Okay, that's a resistance area. So if you manage to enter right 5.12 to 5.40, that's a possible gain of 29%. If you can only lock in 20%, that is already good. Good deal, guys. GTCAP. GTCAP is just within the support level. Okay, 400. And you're at the oversold, so that's a good sign. Let's see. 2.77 foreign buying that happened today. So consider that. You can also put this in your watch list and find your entry price. But definitely you are now sitting at a support level. So, and this is part of the index, so try to also consider that. What about this? AEV. This could be a retracement, right? Let me see. Same recommendation when this is already a bit high. Use a faster time frame and just trade it. What's this? I need a Fibonacci. Okay, looks like it respected the 0.236 level, 4140 as the bounce area. So it might continue to bounce, but just in case, it gives you a chance right here. That's an entry price. Another entry price would be 39.05. And my take here, just stop at the 0.5 level. If it breaks this, some people would play conservative and wait for it here or here. Okay, at least these are the key areas that you can enter at. LTG. LTG, we're just following this line here at the MA20 level. I think it will be creating a brand new support in this area, 7.16, before it goes up again. No volume yet, that's the problem. So if you're a believer of this company, test it out here. But if it breaks that, because I don't like how your Bollinger Band is forming. It points downwards, and when that points downwards, the next possible movement would be a breakdown in price. So just wait for it yet. I think we just draw the line here, but if it breaks that, hold on. But the key message here, wait for a green candlestick to come out, probably open at 7.16 and move upwards. But if most of the action happens below 7.16 tomorrow, then that's not a good story. You might have some more decline in the price. Okay. RRHI, SHLPH, also doing sideways, fruit, starting to trigger, but you have a resistance right here. You're very near a resistance, so just observe first. Maybe what you can do here is wait for a breakout play before you enter. Let's say it officially breaks 1.43, then that's the time you can enter, because sometimes you have rejection happening at the resistance area and it revisits your support, and the nearest support I can see is 1.25. Just adjust that. 1.25. Okay, there you have it. The reason why I said that is because of number one, I saw this, this one too used to be a support and became a resistance here, and this one. So there are several points in this chart that shows us some story within this 1.25 level. SMC are sitting at a resistance. For several days, the price can just seem to break that. However, your chance here is that this continues to move up while you're just staying flat here at the resistance area. So that's one trigger. Number two is you have foreign buying, so that's good. So what I recommend here is wait for it to break out of the 95 peso area and probably show a green candlestick. Then that's the time we can say we have a breakout play in this sense. Wait for it, probably 95 point something, and then moves up here. So that's our confirmation. Did we talk about FGEN? No, not yet. FGEN is also very near a resistance, which is this level 18.31. So that's the nearest resistance that we see. If people will take profit, we're still at a promising place, 17.14. If it goes down further, then next would be 15.97. There you go, 15.93. So those are your key areas. This is the resistance, support first, second support. Okay. Do we have any other requests, guys? Wow, we've been so productive today. We have reviewed a lot. And for those people who have not subscribed yet, I welcome you to my channel and I hope you subscribe. And let's chat again tomorrow. Thank you for spending time with me. And yeah, good luck to our trades. Bye-bye for now.